This is absurd. Can you imagine the brutality of it? I don't think there's any money left in Uganda anymore. I think this is something worth talking about, something that everyone needs to be aware of. Hi everyone, Terry here. Today I'm here to talk to you about the theft or the attempted theft, or in this case you might say actual theft, that was discussed on Zoom concerning the entire embassy of Uganda to Denmark. For those of you who may not understand what I've just said, the ambassador representing Uganda in Denmark and all of her subordinate officials have taken it upon themselves to get money meant for COVID-19 patients and Ugandan citizens in Denmark and want to apportion it just like you cut a slice of cake. Now, usually I greet you with a smile on my face, but this time it's really serious. It has got into a centerfold to the point that I need to discuss all the legal implications of what I'm about to talk to you about. In Uganda, corruption is everywhere. It's like the heart of our country. It's in our blood. We breathe it. I don't think there's any way we can control corruption. Now, let me dwell straight to the point. All the officials in the Ugandan embassy in Denmark convened in a Zoom meeting. For those of you who may not know what the Zoom app is, Zoom is a smartphone application which helps people to meet up, people from different parts of the world, different parts of anywhere, even the universe. People meet up on Zoom to convene meetings which are usually productive. Now in this case, these people went on Zoom to actually apportion funds and want to put them inside their pockets. In this newspaper article I've just been reading, it is so gruesome. I mean, imagine if you are a citizen in Denmark, a Ugandan citizen, and you went for cheyo, for manual labor. The government sends money to the embassy concerning you and your country. It's going into this guy's pockets. I mean, I don't even know what to say, but this is actually really serious. Now, let me take you to the facts of the case. Parliament recently recalled these ambassadors, that the entire team, the ambassador, the deputy, the auditor, all of them, on this recorded Zoom meeting. Actually, these guys didn't even know that the meeting was recorded. It was recorded and someone circulated it all over social media. Now, in this entire meeting, all of them were admitting with the voices that were heard and were confirmed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Finance that indeed these were the suspects who they suspected to be in charge of this horrendous video. This concerned Madivani, who is the ambassador of Uganda to Denmark, and more so, she's also from a very wealthy family. You would not even imagine that she can want to steal such small money. Now, I was recently reading the guidelines concerning how an ambassador should be given money or per diem. These guys wanted to increase their per diem to 11.4 million shillings. And in the grand scheme of things, you find that these guys have not done any work ever since COVID-19 began. Because COVID-19 began around October last year, but up to now, you cannot tell me that the embassy of Denmark in Uganda, the embassy of Uganda in Denmark has done any substantial work, because everything has been put to a hold. We are in an entire lockdown. Now in the Zoom meeting, I was hearing voices back and forth. I'm going to play for you a short clip concerning the audio, but if you listen to the audio properly, you hear that all of them were admitting to bribing auditors. They were admitting to wanting to divert public funds. They were admitting to corruption. They were admitting to just not giving a damn about Uganda. They just don't care about Uganda. They don't care about its citizens. Now, in this Zoom meeting, which was recorded, every single person can hear the voice of Madivani and her deputy and all the auditors. In the Zoom meeting, they decided to apportion the money. Her deputy was the chairman of the meeting. He kept saying, you know what, for the major officials of the embassy in Denmark, we are going to tell the government that we assigned it per diem for 8 days for all the officials, the senior officials. For the junior officials, they were assigning them for 4 days. and they were each supposed to get about $1 million a day, which is a lot of money, because ordinarily an ambassador is supposed to use much less than that. But because of this COVID-19 pandemic, we are seeing that it's just in a big hoax. There's a lot of fraud in our country, there's a lot of corruption. Now, if I may get to the legal point of things, what you've all been waiting for, something that you all want to hear. Are these guys going to go to, are they going to go to jail? Are they going to be removed from power? Well, Parliament has already done the biggest role, but I want to just brief you on the legal implications. Now, everything you'll hear in the audio means that they admitted to one, bribery, because the deputy ambassador, who is a gentleman, admitted to bribing an auditor and all public officials in the embassy to keep quiet and not to do so much investigations on the report that will come out. Now, bribing a public officer will get you a lot of jail time. It will get you a lot of jail time, and it's stipulated under the Anti-Corruption Act, in particular Section 5. Now, these guys are also these guys can also be charged with diversion of public funds. Under Section 6 of the Anti-Corruption Act, it clearly states that any person who diverts public funds, in this case, these funds which are meant for Ugandan COVID-19 patients and also citizens in Denmark, anyone who diverts these kinds of funds is liable to imprisonment for about 14 years. Now, we also go to corruption, which is under Section 2 of the Anti-Corruption Act. Of course, all these guys are liable for corruption. Even if they didn't even commit the act, who says they've not committed the act before? Because this seemed like a very new thing. Because even when you go back to the facts, they wrote to Keith Mahakanizi, who is the secretary to Ministry of Finance and the Treasury. They wrote to Keith Mahakanizi saying that they want these funds to be given back to them and the embassy so that they can use it for their own gain. Keith Mahakanizi said, you know what, these funds, according to Section 17, subsection 2 of the Public Finance Management Act, are supposed to go back to the Consolidated Fund of Uganda. The Consolidated Fund is part of the Bank of Uganda, and these funds can be recycled and used for better things. We have poor roads, we have potholes, we have many pending things. We have COVID-19 patients who are dying. We have a rise in cases, so this money should not have gone into their pockets. Now, the worst part of it is causing financial loss, which is stipulated under Section 21. Actually, it's Section 20 of the Anti-Corruption Act of 2009, and also embezzlement of this money under Section 19 still of the Anti-Corruption Act. All of these will get these guys 10 years in jail. And I personally think they deserve it. They deserve it because if you cannot have the heart of humanity, think about Ugandans and how they're going to perceive what you're doing to them. This money, all these people are well off. They actually didn't need this small. This is pocket change to these guys. The embassy always gives them a lot of per diem and a lot of facilitation money for them to last in Denmark. Now, the worst part about it is that these guys did not care about the implications, because, like I've discussed all these facts for you, we need to see justice in this country. We need to see that Ugandans are being taken care of and there's proper auditing of these embassies. Because if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, many embassies, almost every embassy Uganda has in every other country, may have this same thing. But in this case, we may just not have recorded Zoom meetings to actually give us evidence. And mind you, before I wrap up, this recorded Zoom meeting is admissible evidence, because in the law of evidence, we have documentary evidence, we have video evidence, we have a lot of evidence which can be admissible in court. Now, the fact that we heard these people's voices and we can have them attest in court, or we can just have a professional person who can indeed say that, yes, this is the ambassador's voice, this is Madivani's voice saying that she bribed an auditor, then we can have these people tried in court, and hence we can get justice. So for those who may be doubting that this audio, this recorded Zoom meeting may not be admissible evidence. It is, according to the law of evidence. We have documentary evidence. So, thank you guys for listening to me. But before I leave, I just want to let you know that in case you see injustice anywhere, in case you hear of injustice anywhere, as Ugandans, we need to care for our country. We need to put the legal foot on the ground and say no. We need to curb corruption in this country. We need to take a firm step and imprison all these people, and to keep on bringing refined people who have the heart for Uganda, who are patriotic, who have Uganda at heart. Because these guys, they might be Ugandan citizens, but they just don't care. They don't care about Uganda. They don't care about what citizens outside there may be suffering, and this money that's being sent to them should be helping them. So, for those who are new to my channel, feel free to leave a comment about the video, what you would have liked about it, what you want me to talk about in a future video. For those who are new to my channel, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Just hit the subscribe button just in the link below, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.